Hello, YouTube. Today I am going to be talking about my experience applying to the nursing program at the community college that I'm attending. I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey, I guess, maybe. And I'm going to just talk about everything that led up to me applying for nursing school through COVID, and let you guys know like kind of the requirements for my school, because there might be things that are going to be similar with your experience in applying to nursing school. So I just want to take some time and go over that information, just because when I was applying for nursing school at my school, I didn't really have anybody that I could go to on YouTube that had a similar experience. It was kind of a little bit different. So I just wanted to make sure, if there's any students that are going to be applying to the school that I'm going to, which is Motlow State Community College, that you have somebody that you can say, okay, so this guy said this is what are going to be the requirements. These are things that I need to look out for and be prepared for. So that way you can do really well and also apply to the program and hopefully get in like I did. Yay. I applied for Motlow State Community College's nursing program. I will be attending this fall of 2021. I will be attending to receive my associate's of nursing, which is referred to as your ADN, Associate's Degree of Nursing. When I graduate after 4 semesters of having nurses courses and clinicals, I will be able to sit for the state exam here in Tennessee, which is the NCLEX. Once I pass that, I will technically at that time be considered a registered nurse here in the state of Tennessee. This is the same exam that anybody would take at a bachelor's of science school, a 4-year college, or if you were doing like an AP, not an APM, but an LPN program, it'd be the same thing, getting your passing the NCLEX to become a nurse here in the state of Tennessee and other states in the U.S. So for my program, we had to have Anatomy and Physiology 1, Anatomy and Physiology 2. We had to have Microbiology and English 1. We only had to have AP 1, English 1, and Stats before we could apply for the program. You had to have a grade of C or better to apply for the program. So those are the ones you definitely want to make sure you focus on hardcore. I definitely would recommend taking your Anatomy 1, Anatomy 1, your English 1, and your Statistics as soon as possible, so that way you can apply for the program in the fall, because at my school at Motlow, they only accept students to start the program in the fall. So if you took the classes in the spring, you would have to wait until the fall to apply for the program, which the application deadline for my school was January 31st. I turned mine in, I think, in November or December, just because I wanted to go ahead and get it submitted. But the deadline for my program was January of 2021. I got my notification on the very last day. The very last day that I got into the program, but I got in. So that's really all that matters to me, is that I actually got into the program. So they notified me on April 30th that I got accepted into the program for the fall semester of 2021. They told us that we would know sometime in April, and we were notified the very last day, but we got notified, and that's the most important part. I'm extremely excited. I was sitting at my job working, and I just looked down at my phone and had gotten an email from the nursing department secretary, and it was notifying that I got in, and it was just kind of like a shocking, surreal moment. But it was like really joyous too. So back to the requirements for the program. So after you submit your application, well, actually, let me go back a little. So before you can submit your application and stuff, you also have to take your HESI, which is the entrance exam. For the HESI from my school, we had to have math, anatomy and physiology, reading comprehension, vocabulary, and then like kind of a learning, like kind of aptitude test to see how your learning ability was. And you had to score, I think it was a 75 for the program. I ended up scoring an 82. I would highly recommend, if you're having to do the HESI, to get this book. It's created by the people who create the HESI. This was by the Evolve Alviser company. But yeah, it's this book. If you go on Amazon or any place, you'll be able to find it there. It helped me get through the exam with no problem, really. I definitely recommend. I also recommend that you look up this guy on YouTube called The Math Guy. Again, his name was The Math Guy, and he got me through the writing portions on the math exam, like the written questions and things like that, because this book doesn't have those things in there. And I remember like one or two questions that he actually went over and taught us how to do on his website in his program that he has. It was actually on the HESI exam, so that's definitely something that I would recommend looking out and seeing what you think and learning, because he definitely has a lot of information that was extremely helpful. It helped me to do quite well on my math portion. So back to the requirements. So the HESI, Anatomy 1, English 1, Statistics. And with my school, when you take those classes, you had to get a C or above. Now for Anatomy 1 and English 1 and Math 1, if you got an A or a B, you got 25 points additional added onto your point system. So it was like 25 quality points that they gave you if you got A or B in Anatomy 1, Math 1, Statistics 1, sorry, and English 1. So for the HESI exam, it was a total of 300 points. So if you got like 85%, you would do like 0.85 times 300 to see how many points you would get for your HESI. Then your GPA, based off of 4.0 scale and down, if you got a 4.0, you got 300 points. For me, I had a 3.66 going into the application process. So the higher your GPA is, the better chances you have of getting into the Motlow State Nursing Program. And then also with the quality points for making an A or B in Anatomy 1, English 1, and Statistics 1. And they tally those points up, and it's kind of like they just tally it based on your number where you fall on the list. And if you're at the top, whatever number that they go to, you get into the program, and other people get waitlisted on down to people not being accepted. So the better you do on your score, sorry, I'm tripping. So the better you do on your HESI and the better you do on those classes, the higher your chances, and the higher your GPA, the higher your chances of getting into the program. So I definitely want to make sure I say that, because it is based off a numerical rating who they let in. So all the classes that they require in total for the program: Anatomy 1, Anatomy 2, Microbiology, Intro Statistics, Intro Psychology, English 2. You can either do lifespan, or you could do lifespan psychology, or you could do fundamentals of communication. You also have to do like your humanities course, so like an art course or a math course or a theater course. And then you have your core nursing program classes, which they're going to be your women's health and childbearing. It's going to be your pediatrics, your mental health, your fundamentals, your Med-Surg 1, your professional practice and nursing, Med-Surg 2, and then Med-Surg 3. So it's going to be all those different things that are going to be the requirements to get through the nursing program at Motlow State Community College. Again, I will be starting this fall of 2021. Extremely excited. Don't really know much else as of right now. I'm still waiting for them to do our nursing orientation. So once I have that information, I'll be glad to go ahead and upload another video with the information that I learned from that. I hope that, this was helpful to anybody who was thinking of applying at the Motlow State Community College program. If you put the hard work in, you can get in. I definitely say, hard work pays off. We have to work for anything we want normally in life. Things don't normally just fall in your lap. For some people it does, for some people it doesn't. Sometimes things just come out better for some people than others, but it is what it is. We all have to work for what we want in the end, and it's really doable. I say that if I could do it, and if I could do it, anybody else can do it. I wish the best for you. Thank you for watching, and good luck to anybody trying to apply